Buyers are competing for dried up inventory. And in case you didn't know, this right now is actually quite normal for January and February. And to add a twist to, these buyers competing, prices are down. What on earth is happening? Well, this is what I can see from the numbers from the latest market watch. So make sure you stay tuned as I break this all down for you. Now, if you are looking for some help on how to navigate this real estate market into 2024, and you're just kind of liking the content I'm putting out there and my data-driven approach, you can book a call with me to chat about your unique personal situation using the link right here. It's www.chatwithzen.com. Simply click on a date and a time that works best for you. And then when you see the prompt, fill in your name, email, mobile phone number, and the question you have for me, and then we'll chat then. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. My name is Zhen, and if you're enjoying the content I'm putting out there, do me a favor and like and subscribe to the Prime Properties TV channel. So, buyers are competing again, as you've probably heard, the 85 offer thing, but prices are down. And what on earth is going on? Well, let me quickly summarize all this for you. All the data is pointing to the market coming back to life right now. So you can see over here, the months of inventory is back down to 2.3 again, which very much is a seller's market, okay? It's down 20%, like on a month over month basis from December. New listings are up 100%, meaning we doubled from December. But again, that is kind of normal, so don't let anyone talk you into it. But the active listings, meaning like the number of listings at the end of January, is actually down 2% from last month. What this essentially means is that the inventory that we got in January mostly got absorbed. There's nothing left over, and we're not building up that inventory like we saw in 2023. Sales being up from December, basically normal, right? But the biggest number that doesn't jive with all of this Toronto real estate rebounding kind of narrative is this. Prices are down 5% month over month, and they're actually down a smidgen from the last year. And 5% down in January is quite low. The average is like up 0.8%. And that's really, really bad. It may be one of the outliers. So that's what I mean by that number just doesn't jive with what we're hearing anecdotally. Now, for reference, you can see the chart over here. 2.3 months of inventory is pretty common in the GTA prior to the pandemic. So it's not like, things are about to blow up and get crazy. This is just like Toronto normal, right? And I'll be saying a lot of this in this video, Toronto normal. Because outside of the pandemic, last time we saw like 2.3 months of inventory was like maybe 2018, 2019. So again, it's normal, but it's like Toronto normal, which is essentially perpetually in a seller's market, right? So this is what I want to go through with you today. And just as much of a seller's market we are in right now, when you compare this to how Toronto has normally fared, I would say right now at 2.3 months of inventory, it's like a pretty weak seller's market for, again, Toronto standards and Toronto normal. We've often seen like the total months of inventory anywhere between like 1.5 and 2, and that's where like prices do kind of go up over time. So we're not quite there yet, but prices are increasing. And I think that prices should probably increase in the next 60 to 90 days because if you're seasonally adjusted from that methodology, it should increase. But I suspect that because there is competition, and inventory is quite low, prices should be going up. Remember, the months of inventory is the leading indicator of where the market's going to be, and prices are looking backwards, right? And that's why I'm taking more emphasis on the months of inventory. But if we look at this chart over here, you can see that we ended January with about 10,000 active listings, which again is a little bit higher than the last few years. So that's why I think we're just, not getting enough active listings, but it should just be quite there, but demand just picked back up, right? Because if we look at the months of inventory here, we're essentially the highest that we've been in the last 6 years outside of 2023 being one of the worst years ever, right? And this is why I've been saying, I think we're just reverting back to the norm before the pandemic. But most people probably just don't remember this, or if your realtor hasn't been licensed since the pandemic, they just don't understand it, right? This is like 2018, 2019 market. I think there'll be a lot of adjustment periods for buyers right now who haven't bought a house in like pre-pandemic times before because they essentially saw a crazy pandemic and crazy dead post-pandemic, like post-rate hike, right? They haven't kind of seen that in between like Toronto normal sellers market, which is where I think we are right now. And, which is somewhere in between that. Now, historically speaking, you can see in this chart over here, active listings, again, is just a smidgen below the average, which again is Toronto normal. Sales, Also normal, as you can see. We're just not in the 20-year lows anymore, right? Because that was pretty bad. New listings, a smidgen under Toronto normal. And for 2024, I've added some new charts for you. A lot of people are like, new year, new me, new body, new year, new me, new house. I'm like, new year, new me, new charts. So I'm going to be looking at the months of inventory and the sales to new listing ratio from now on the market watches. So if you look back historically on the months of inventory data, we compare it against it. And again, this is what I've been saying, we're normal. It's definitely higher than like the last 5 to 6 years outside of 2023. But again, just very normal. And this is what I'm trying to show you right now. All of this is kind of normal if you remember 5 years ago. Now, sales to new listing ratio, which again is like the amount of sales divided by the amount of new listings. And it's a little bit more forward looking, but it's kind of like the inverted version of the months of inventory. And you can basically see here, normal, right? We're at 50%, nothing crazy, nothing bad, right? Just normal. It just means that like right now we're like slightly having more demand than there are new listings coming online by a very small smidgen that I would almost call it negligible. Now you can see here, we are nowhere close to where it was during the pandemic of like 70-80% being absorbed, but we're nowhere as bad as last year. We're like at below 50, right? Which just means that we're kind of balanced by this metric, right? Which is what I've been saying in this entire video. We are normal. We're like Toronto normal, like semi-sellers market all the time, right? So yes, while things look like they're heating up anecdotally, right, when you hear 85 offers, but this is just normal for Toronto. Not the 85 offer part, but what I will say is this: a good house in a good area, ready to move in, will attract multiple offers. This is normal in Toronto, right? And I'm also slowly starting to see that in condos as well, as it's starting to pick up, which I personally find a little bit strange, but I'll keep you posted on that, right? This is just kind of like boots on the ground data. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what's to come. And to summarize, we're just reverting back to the Toronto normal for the real estate market, which is, again, perpetually in a seller's market where prices do go up slowly and you should be expecting multiple offers on good homes. And if you're looking for some help on how to navigate this normal Toronto real estate market, in case you haven't seen this before, which is perfectly fine, right? It's very normal. And if you want a more data-driven approach in 2024, you can book a call with me to talk about your unique situation using the link that's right here. It's www.chatwithzen.com. Until next time, your move, your future. See ya! Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one? Or this one? You know what? Just watch them both.